Assalamu alaikum students. This video is for pre-9th subject physics chapter number 3. Students, today our topic is force of limiting friction. Students, we know that friction is the force that opposes the motion of a body. For example, students, a body is at rest and at that time body has friction because at that time bumps and pits of both of the bodies are stuck with each other, and we have to apply force if we want to bring the body in motion, and that friction is equal to applied force. When we apply force, then these bumps and pits they stuck with each other and friction increases. When we apply more force, then these cold wells becomes more stronger and friction also increases. But we keep increasing the force and resisting is increasing, and after a time force becomes enough high that it can overcome these cold wells and it can break these cold wells. At that time that force is enough to move the body. Before that time the maximum amount of friction is called force of limiting friction, and that depends upon the that depends upon the normal reaction, which is actually pressing force, action of the, according to Newton third law, which is actually action of the pressing force. So if normal reaction is more, then there is more friction, so there is more force of limiting friction. So force of limiting friction, the maximum value of friction is known as force of limiting friction. The value of friction just before the body, when body comes in motion, that friction is called force of limiting friction. Explanation: the friction is equal to the applied force that tends to move a body at rest, which we have discussed. It increases with the applied force, as I told you that when we increase the applied force the resistance increases. Why? That I also have told you that the cold wells becomes stronger. At that time the friction can be increased to a certain maximum value, and after that value the force is enough so that body can move. So that value of friction is called that force is called force of maximum force is called that maximum value of friction is called basically force of limiting. The maximum value of friction is called a force of limiting friction, which is represented by Fs. Thank you.